Hello and good afternoon. My name is Mike Perch and I'm with Roadmap Consulting. I was trying to give a little bit extra time for a few people who said they were going to be attending to show up, but it looks like we already have a good group, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. This presentation will only take you about 50 minutes to get through, and we've allotted about another 10 to 15 minutes for questions that all of you may have to submit. And hopefully we can get all the answers we need to get to you as well. So thank you for attending. Hopefully this will be worth your time. I'm sure it will be. We have come up with a very good program here at Roadmap Consulting that a number of our clients have taken advantage of, and we wanted to kind of spread the news among other interested parties to kind of talk about some of the attributes of the program, see if it might be a benefit to you. I've been advised by our facilitator to make sure and have you guys who are currently on the line test the chat function of the GoToWebinar feature by just typing in a very quick question to me, so that when it does come time for Q&A, we are up and functional. So if each one of you who are on the line right now can just send me a very quick question, that'd be great. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get started. First, a little bit about my background. I've been in federal government contracting now for about 27 years. I actually started a company back in 1989, a company by the name of Corporate Presentation Systems that was involved in federal contracting. We were an audiovisual systems integration firm. And I started the company in 1989, grew it to about $12 million in revenue, a little bit over 40 employees with 5 offices in 4 states. Sold the company in 2006 after we kind of grew a little too fast for me to keep up with, and we found a larger company that was interested in us, and it was a good time for me to sell, a good time for them to buy, and it was a great deal for both parties. After that, I was always interested in consulting, kind of giving back to the small business community, so I actually became a volunteer with an organization by the name of the Service Corps of Retired Executives, where I did one-on-one counseling to other small firms. Taught a couple of workshops on 8A application, getting through the 8A program, GSA schedules, project management, and that sort of thing. And I've continued to work with SCORE since 2007, teaching those workshops. So my expertise is mainly in the area of federal procurement, project management. I've done proposal development, did tons and tons of business development in my career. I've also done a lot of loan packaging. I'm a former lending officer, used to work for Bank of America years ago. So I run the gamut as far as most small businesses and their needs. I've been involved in virtually every aspect of small business ownership, so I can give some good advice in those areas. Obviously, along with me, we have other consultants here at the company that have their own areas of expertise as well, but I just want to give you a little bit on my background. Okay, let's jump right into the whole strategic business planning and marketing and capture management series. The reason that this is a service that so many of our clients have taken advantage of is that obviously, as you all know, there's almost 6 million small businesses that are engaged in federal government contracting around the country, there's also a $600 billion federal market, approaching $600 billion for this fiscal year, of purchases of goods and services by the federal government. So I guess the mystery is, how do all those small businesses figure out how to gain access to this $600 billion market? And the way that you gain access is no secret, but obviously it's I guess the trick is in trying to execute the strategy. But you implement a number of processes, methodical, tactical steps. You gain your SBA designations. You get on as many contract vehicles as you can, and most companies do all those things, and then they kind of hope for the best. And what we've attempted to do here at Roadmap Consulting, and this has been really driven by our own customer base, because our company is engaged in not only marketing on behalf of our clients, but we also help companies get their 8A certification. We help them get on GSA schedule. We help them acquire GWACs and IDIQs. We help them with a variety of different needs. And what has happened is that a number of companies have gotten their 8A designation, have gotten on schedule, and then they've kind of looked around and said, okay, what do we do next? And so this service has kind of grown out of that, that demand on the part of our clients. As I said, these are all the professional services that we offer. We offer everything from just strategic business consulting, where you may have a variety of different needs. You may need expert advice on, maybe on developing a collateral package that would be effective in terms of how your customer base might look at it. Of course, doing your GSA schedule, not only just getting you on schedule, but getting you on schedule with the right rates and the right solutions and the right labor categories that you want in order to have your GSA schedule be both effective in terms of marketing and also profitable for you as well. So we handle all those areas, and we've done a very good job of helping our clients to not only get on schedule but be happy with the results once they're on. One of the things I'll say about GSA schedules very quickly is that I think the figure is almost 70% of all GSA schedule holders are not realizing their their $25,000 goal in their first 2 years of being on schedule. And part of the reason for that is that they may not have put a lot of thought into the actual strategic solutions and labor categories and products that they should put on their GSA schedule. And as a result, the schedule has been no use for them. And a lot of GSA schedule holders are now being terminated because they have not realized that $25K in the first 2 years of being on schedule. So we do a good job of making sure that you not only get on schedule, but you can utilize it very effectively. GWAC proposal support, we've helped a number of companies with their 8A GSA stars, GWAC a couple of years ago, and we continue to help in other areas with other GWACs. Other proposal support in responding to RFPs, and so on and so on. I won't go down the list, but we provide those services. What we've also done, and this is what this webinar is about, is we've kind of blended all those things together so that once you are on schedule, once you've gotten your hub zone, once you've gotten your 8A, we take it the next step, and we provide cost-effective market intelligence consultation and marketing support to position you to increase your federal market penetration potential. That's what we do. We get you in the room with the right people, if I had to paraphrase. And we do that through gaining market intelligence of what's out there, what's coming down the pike. We access your current capabilities and we give you some expert advice on maybe how you could leverage those capabilities, maybe through a teaming relationship or getting on a certain contract vehicle. We look at your collateral package to make sure that your marketing is being done correctly. We get your name out there in terms of brand awareness of your company and you being an expert in your field so that you get the attention of some of the procurement folks that are out there. We get you in front of those folks through a number of different social marketing and social networking type vehicles. So we help you in a lot of different areas, but the big thing we do is we help win you contracts, and that's the goal of most small companies that are engaged in federal government contracting. Now I'm going to skip. I'm going to talk about this particular slide, but what I'm going to do is bring up a larger slide so that you can read it because it's a little unclear here. But what I do on this slide is I kind of talk a little bit about the typical progression of a contractor who's engaged in federal government contracting as they kind of go through the levels of development. And this is typical of most companies. This is a progression chart that kind of shows how most companies perform and how they grow. Item number one is where you acquire contract vehicles or small business designations, which helps to position you to get in front of the right people at the right agencies. You then move to step number two where you gain agency intelligence. You look on the forecast of opportunities for that particular agency. You look in FedBizOps. You look in a lot of different places, or you hear through the grapevine that the agency is looking for the service that you're trying to provide. That leads you to step number three, where you market the agency through various different means, the most common of which is obviously getting in front of them and doing an actual capabilities briefing. Sometimes you'll meet them at a trade show. You'll market them in various different ways. The fourth step is where you actually do get an opportunity to meet with the program folks and present your capabilities to talk about hopefully not just what you do, but what problems you can solve at that particular agency, which is one of the key points that we talk about in our marketing approach. It's not just getting in front of the right people and talking about what you do. it's doing the research on the individuals that you're going to be speaking with and the agency itself and some of the issues that are confronting that agency, and coming in and being a problem solver in terms of how you can best help the folks that are at that agency in positions of authority to accomplish their mission. That's how you win business with the federal government. So meeting with them and talking, spending that half-hour, 45-minute time frame that you have with them to make sure that you know, that they know that you've done your homework is one of the best things that you can do, because it will separate you from the majority of companies who come in and meet with them all the time. So after you accomplish number 4, you move on to step number 5, where you might get a contract, and typically the way it goes, they'll throw you something that's relatively small, relatively harmless, just to see how you work out. It's not always that way. Sometimes you can walk into a very large opportunity right off the bat, but in most cases, they'll give you a very small contract, either through an existing prime or as a direct award to that agency. And then step number 6 through 9 and 10 is where you basically have a chance to perform. And this is something, obviously, that makes or breaks companies, because in the performance of the opportunities that have been given to them, that's where you either shine or you sink. So you go through the actual performance of the first contract, you may get another award, and then a bigger award, and then you may get a much bigger award. And then by step number 10, over a period of maybe a year or two, maybe sometimes 3 to 4 years, you become one of the go-to companies at that agency for the particular area that you specialize in. And that's assuming, obviously, that you've had the opportunity to get in through the 8A program or through HubZone. And the folks at that agency are very, very attracted to you, not only because you do good work, but because it's also very easy for them to get to you. They don't have to go through long, drawn-out procurement cycles where they have to post on FedBizOps and get all the comments and that sort of thing. Of course, the SBA designations and the contract vehicles help to speed up the efficiency and the effectiveness of getting work done at the agency. So you become one of the go-to companies. They recognize that you're good in what you do, and you're easy to get to. The next step that we recommend, and step number 11, is where you then would start to put together an actual IDIQ or BPA or BOA based on your firm's performance at that agency that would allow you to get an award up to $4 million. We've done this for a number of our clients in the past. It's a very effective way of kind of locking in to that agency and locking out a lot of competition, where you have a $4 million, which is the maximum award given by the SBA. You have a $4 million IDIQ or BPA or BOA, and it basically allows your client at that agency, or even multiple groups at that agency, to issue task order contracts against that $4 million ceiling. And that helps you to grow. In my past experience with my company, we did a lot of work down at the Naval Surface Warfare Center in Dahlgren, where the maximum amount back then with the 8A program was only $3.5 million. We went through about a half dozen of those type IDIQ contracts. Very effective, very easy to use. They tend to load up at the end of the fiscal year when program managers are trying to exhaust their budgets. It's a very, very strategic step that I would advise you to take to kind of help position you with that agency. And then, of course, step number 12 is where you then move up to the big guys, the ranks of the big guys, where you're competing against them, maybe not against them, but you're competing on the same type of a multiple award IDIQ contract at that agency. And what that enables you to do basically is then step up to the big leagues, where you're now not only doing work as a small company, but in some cases your contract with that agency may facilitate working with some of the big primes as having them be subs to you. And that's where you really experience the revenue growth in step number 13. Examples of that that I can point to are at DHS, you got Eagle 1 and Eagle 2. Eagle 2 is now just beginning to award. But most small companies that get on the DHS Eagle contract experience explosive growth, because Eagle is the favorite vehicle that DHS likes to use. And if you gain a position on that Eagle contract, as we saw with Eagle 1, you experience a tremendous amount of growth. And then step 14 is where most firms try to get to, either going on an acquisition path to acquire other firms, or they're looking to actually get bought themselves. But of course, that's where you're moving to another league of growth, another stage of development that most companies are trying to get to. So now back to the slide presentation. So that's the typical growth that you experience as a small business entering into the federal contract arena. Okay, now what we do for you, and I'm going to go back to another, since it's pretty hard to read this particular slide. What we do for you is we implement some proven methodologies, strategies, tactics that have been proved effective in the past through our strategic business planning and capture management process, marketing and capture management process. And what we have done for about a half dozen of our clients so far, and we're looking to do, we just introduced this service about 45 days ago, and we've already signed up about 6 companies. But what we do when we do bring companies into actually working with us for this particular service is we'll go through about a 13-step process, as you see, from start to finish. I mean, I said 13. I meant to say 15-step process. And it starts with actually meeting with the actual company, making sure that we're completely aware of the company's background, its experience, its strengths, weaknesses, and other threats. We go through the SWOT analysis. We establish some realizable short-term goals, mid-term goals, long-term objectives. We kind of, go through about a 7-8 page questionnaire, asking a lot of questions about the company and making sure that we have a thorough understanding as to the owners, their objectives, what they do well, what they don't do well, where they want to go, where they don't want to go, so that we walk away at the end of that meeting with a very firm understanding as to what the company wants to do. We then fall back to our office in step number 2, and we'll put together what we thought we heard from you in terms of a strategic planning and business strategic plan and marketing plan to accomplish both GSA schedule, targeted marketed agencies, and targeted contract vehicles that you'd like to go after. Now that can be a report that is issued to you guys that will not only be a roadmap for what you want to do, but it can also be an actual business plan, if you will, that we'll constantly go back to and modify and update. We try to make it a living document, so as we go further and further down the road with you, as you realize more information, as we feed you more information, and you start to hone in on the kind of things that you want to do, we adjust that accordingly. So that becomes a plan that we're both collaboratively working through as we work with your company. Step number 3 is where we will look at your collateral package, your website. We'll help you develop expanded capabilities based upon specific opportunities. We'll also help you to put together project summaries of past work that you've done, because we've found that that is a very effective way to win business. We go through a very extensive process of evaluating the kind of material that you're going to present to government personnel, large prime contractors, and knowing what they're looking for, knowing what they like to see in a presentation where you get a chance to get in front of them, we can give you some good solid advice in that area. Step number 4 is where we actually go in and based upon a number of different factors, the market that you're in based upon your NAICS code. We'll extract data from some of the targeted agencies that you tell us you want to go after. We'll look at the mission statement of those agencies and see if they, in any way, shape, or form, may lead to business opportunities for your company. We'll look at the key personnel within those agencies, the organizational charts, give you the agency forecasts. Look at past contracts that have been awarded in the areas that you're interested in. We'll give you on a month-to-month basis intelligence reports that keep you up to date and keep you looking at opportunities that are available within that agency. So that's something we like to do. In step number 6, you'll see, just to skip ahead, that we're producing those reports for you on a monthly basis, which gives you an accountability factor that we like to make sure that you know that we're accountable to you on a monthly basis, and making sure that you're getting the most bang out of your buck with our company. Step number 5, we go through the process of registering you with the federal contractors, prime contractors that are out there. What that does is it basically puts you on their radar for any new bidding opportunities, for new teaming opportunities that they're looking for. In some cases, many of our clients have some very attractive designations. They're 8A or HUBZone or women-owned, and they are service-disabled veteran-owned. And a lot of those primes are searching their own databases to find companies that meet their small business criteria and going after new bid opportunities. So they will look within their own database before they go outside. And so registering with those the top 100 contractors is a very good idea. Step number 6, I've already mentioned. I call that the accountability step. We get in front of you every month, and we deliver to you reports that basically give you an idea as to what we've been able to gather for you in the previous 30 days. If you're on GSA schedule, we'll start to rank some of the e-buy opportunities that we see out there that you may want to bid on based upon pre-bid criteria that you'll give us for bid and no bid criteria that we'll develop together. So we'll have an idea as to what opportunities you want to chase and which ones you don't. So we'll have a screening process that we'll be able to give you good information through. Step number 7 is where we actually go through and we'll market your company through exposing some of the great things that you've done, some of the milestones that you've hit through a company that we use called Vocus, where we will we'll write PR releases, public relation releases, press releases, I should say, that will announce certain things that your company is doing. And what that does is it helps to increase the traffic to your website. It'll help to increase your brand identity, increase your Twitter followings, and that sort of thing. So in the era of social networking and marketing, that's a step that we've done. We basically use our relationship with Vocus to help our clients to increase their market awareness through our relationship with Vocus. And so all that leads to steps number 8 through 9, and that's where we basically establish those targeted agencies and contract vehicle databases, and we'll update those as we go and feed you additional information on a month-to-month basis. We'll help you to establish long-term relationships with the primes. We'll help in some cases to go out and market your company to the primes that we have relationships with that are looking for quality companies to provide subcontract opportunities to and that sort of thing. We'll also establish, as I mentioned before, the GSA eBuy database. What that does is it not only helps you to win some of the opportunities published on GSA eBuy, but it'll also give you a good marketing database to accumulate both the contracting personnel as well as the program personnel that are posting on GSA eBuy. If you're an 8A company, what we've seen in the past is that if you're an 8A company and you see some of those folks posting on GSA eBuy, you may or may not decide to go after that specific opportunity, but what you will know is that you have an individual at that agency, both on the contract side and on the program side, that buys what it is you sell. And so that's a good, valuable database to accumulate. We do that for you. So all that leads to step number 11, which is where we give you opportunities on a monthly basis, ongoing, and then you make the decision on whether or not you're going to chase those specific opportunities. And the idea is to give you as many opportunities as we can gather, and then it's your management decision on what you decide to do as far as chasing and throwing actual resources after those opportunities. As you all know, I mean, you can't chase them all, and you want to be very, very strategic in terms of evaluating what opportunities you can win and which ones you can and which ones make the most sense for you to go after. So we give you all the information intelligence-wise as we can, and then it's your call on where you decide to go with from there. Step number 12 is where you then carry out the strategies. You assign resources. We can assist you in some cases. We can go out and accompany you on the capabilities briefings that you may have. We develop for you email campaigns. We will introduce you to certain folks that we may think might be a strategic teaming partner for you to join up with. We do whatever we can to increase the number of opportunities you may have with small and large companies as well as with the federal government. One of the things I'll just mention right off the top of my head that just happened within the past week is we had 3 companies that we represent with this particular SPV service that all came together to go after the State Department HITS 2 contract. And they're all real excited about working together. One of the companies has been a long-term vendor contractor at the State Department, and they have the past performance and the type of background that is needed to win the actual contract there. And so the other 2 companies have joined in, not having any State Department experience, and now they've formed a very solid team that's probably in my mind, no doubt they're going to win a position on the HITS 2 contract, but more importantly, they're going to win a lot of those task orders that come out under HITS 2 based upon the teaming relationship. So that's just an example of some of the things that we can do for you. Step number 13 is where we actually help you to execute the win strategies, position, and bid. Just as I mentioned with HITS 2, I mean, we do a lot of things like that with our companies. We'll access the opportunity, or I should say evaluate the opportunity itself, decide on what the best win strategy is, either going after it alone or teaming up with other companies or being a teammate on another company that may decide to prime it, and we'll give you good advice and direction there. Step number 14 is where we actually prepare the proposal for you. If you need our assistance in that, we can do that. We help you negotiate the subcontracts to make sure you're getting the best bang for your buck. And then step number 15 is where you win the business. The idea is to kind of keep a continuous loop with steps 11 through 15, and so far we've done that very successfully with a number of our companies. So, you know, one of the things we talk about in terms of the cost comparison of the service that we offer, as you all know, I mean, the typical company that competes for federal business, they'll go out and hire BD people, they'll hire salespeople, and they'll hope that those people can go out and find them, you know, the right opportunities. What we have done is we've basically offered a service that is not based upon that one or two or however many individuals that you have at the company, but it's more so customizable based upon whatever your needs are. Now, let me also point out that we do have a number of clients that have BD people on staff and they still use us. And again, the customizable feature of the service is what makes that attractive, because what we can do is we can come alongside the BD person and we can help that person or empower that person to win more contracts based upon the services we offer in terms of market intelligence gathering, in terms of networking, in terms of identifying opportunities at the federal level as well as at the prime level. So when you look at our service, you know, as an alternative to actually hiring BD folks, it makes sense. If you look at our service as a service that is in addition to having your BD staff and your sales staff working, it's also a good idea. So it's a team effort. Obviously, we always make sure that our clients know that, you know, we're here to assist them and we're not going to be successful until they're successful. So again, this has been a very attractive service. A lot of our clients have just in the last month and a half bought onto, and we can certainly talk to you about what your needs are. That's it. I'm done. We have about another 10-15 minutes left for any questions you may have. If you would like to come in and meet with us, we do offer a 1-hour free consultation. You can send any emails to either me or Nathan Cogdill, who's one of our relationship managers here at RoadMap. But we appreciate your time. Any questions you might have, please go ahead and submit, and we'll answer them to the entire group. If not, we've enjoyed having you with us. Please contact us for any additional information. Okay, looks like there are no questions. Again, thank you so much for your time. Let me also just mention too that we'll be doing other seminars on, webinars on different topics that may be of interest to you. So be on the lookout for topics such as GSA schedules, how to systematically or I guess strategically put together a GSA schedule. Come out pretty soon within the next 30 days. 8A, getting into the 8A program. And also the Hub Zone program as well. So we'll be kind of doing this on a month-to-month basis. If you happen to know of anyone who might be interested, please let them know. And again, we thank you for your time. Let us know if we can be of any assistance to you, and we'll look forward to hearing from you. Okay, take care.